The good,
Is it acceptable to say it was the performance so far of the World Cup? Maybe not.
the bad,
Scratching my head, that performances was just lacked that intensity.
and the amber.
Off the Ball's performance rankings.
Shout out to Lilian Thuram before we get going, if he's listening. Friend of the show, of course, was on here 2 years ago. His sons played against each other in Serie A at the weekend in a thriller. Juventus 4, Inter 3. In a game full of lovely goals too. The winner was beautiful long ranger. A bit Moises Caicedo-esque, if you saw that goal for Chelsea against Brentford, but further out again. So his sons played against Marcus and Kefram. Great to see. You'd be proud, wouldn't you? Sure.
Yeah, amazing.
Your two children end up playing against each other.
Yeah.
You're proud they for the
Gilroy, tell you.
Yeah, it would be great.
So he's in the green.
But at the same time, they'll never quite reach the same level as their dad, who rescues France.
Do you know what
In a home World Cup before they'd actually won anything. Even if they were to go on and win 2 World Cups now, he'd be like, yeah, but we climbed the mountain. We scaled Everest. You're just standing on the shoulders of giants.
What's
Two's a lot.
What's your memory of Lilian?
Well, the goal.
Croatia.
But he also played
France
in that.
98 and the celebration.
He also played in that incredible Juve team. Like, they were...
Yeah. Parma. He was one of those
They got that got stripped of their titles.
But it was an incredible team to watch. Like, we didn't know until afterwards.
Well, he was one of those cohort players who was at Parma that time when Parma were unreal, and then they got stripped off bit by bit.
Like, their games against that Ajax team, that's kind of like you're getting properly into football.
Do you mean the 90s
As
one?
an adult, yeah.
I don't think he was there then.
Was he not?
No, he was at Parma in the 90s.
Parma was his thing, and then Juve paid
He went-
big bucks for him.
He went to Juve in the early noughties.
Say 01
okay,
probably,
okay.
around the same time Buffon
There you
went.
go.
Because he was there for Calciopoli.
Yeah.
Look, we all partied, right?
You're rolling that back nicely. Do you remember his finish against Croatia? Left-footed curler for a defender. And then everyone does that type of celebration now that he did. But I think he was the first to do it. And a defender to do it too. Such confidence. How often does a defender score?
Lovely man too.
Lovely, yeah.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Very, very smart man.
How often does a defender score? How often do United score? Not too regularly. Not too regularly this season.
No.
4 points for 4 games. So it's United's worst. Here are more records for you. United's worst start to their Premier League season since
Saw it yesterday.
92-93, Ger. What's the significance of that? It's the first Premier League season.
Also won the league, I suppose, you know.
This could have been, this could have been more painful than it was for United. Erling Haaland nearly scored after 20 seconds. I had to consult my own notes from that. I forgot. He did a cross goal. It could have been a disaster from the start. Just delayed the inevitable.
I didn't check the XG.
And then you had a period, right, where United were actually decent enough, right? So they had a few counter attacks. I counted 4 counter attacks that they got into the final third. If their final ball was better, there was something in it. Brian Mbeumo was dangerous enough for a while.
He's good. Yeah.
But then City scored. And if you look at this statistic, right, since May 2021, City have only lost once at the Etihad in the league when taking the lead. But who was that to? United last season, December. Amram afterwards, Ger, as I was saying to you there at the start, doesn't want to entertain questions about the midfield. And what did he say to Patrick Davidson? I remind you last season and their record against City, because he oversaw both games against City last season, Ger. That they beat them at the Etihad and they drew with them at Old Trafford with the same setup. So he said, don't tell me it's the midfield.
Would you be advising Ruben Amorim to remind everybody of last season? And
But he only has like 8 examples of victories, is it?
But sorry,
6?
any recollection of last season where all the historic lows were breached? It's like, apart from these 2 games against, City, who were going through something of a existential crisis. I don't know. I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm amazing. Look what I did last year. It's like, okay, good point. Let me remind you of all of the other things that happened last year.
No, but he has to. There are some of the positives of his system working. He has to do it. Because I was reminded there by a dear fan of the show, Michael Maloney, got on to me an X to give me this stat, right? So since match day 12 of last season, which was Amram's first in charge, no ever-present Premier League team have performed worse than Manchester United. 31 points in 31 games, minus 13 goal difference.
What does that mean? Is that just excluding the teams that were relegated?
Yeah. It's basically,
Well, sure,
basically
they finished
they're 17th.
They finished 15th.
Basically, they're 17th form table, 15th in real terms last season.
Yeah.
So, and it continues this season because it's the worst start since the first inauguration of the current competition. They had moments though. Brian and Mbeumo was decent and all that, but I suppose that's the overriding feeling afterwards. It was comfortable. It was comfortable in the end for City. Once they made it 2, even though Brian and Mbeumo and Gianluigi Donnarumma combined for 2 of the most exquisite beats of skill you're going to see all season, it was pretty much done.
Yeah.
And that's where they are. They're at least 3 goals worse off than City.
The thing is that the XG is 2.6 to 1.5. It didn't feel like that.
No, and they had, again, like City had other, like Haaland had that weird tap-in attempt where he could have just put it across goal and hit the post. And then Tijani Reinders had another 1-on-1, exactly where Haaland had finished his 1-on-1. So look, this could have been 4 or 5, easily. But then, you know what was curious, right? As soon as City made it 3-0, and the City fans started doing the Poznan, there was 2 wonderful bits of individual guile by United players. Bruno Fernandes and Manuel Ugarte did these lovely turns and swivels on the ball. And so it's 3-0 down, the game's over. There's a bit of expression now. And then Patrick Dorgu had about 3 chances. Casemiro had 1. Brian Mbeumo had another one. So they started creating when they were 3-0 down.
You think there's something there? There's the bones of a team there.
There's something there, but they're just sick. They're a sick unit. And they're not going to believe in themselves they're going to be able to do this. And as for Amorim, right? They've got worse under him, but I'm a big fan of his. Now, how does that make sense?
He's just handsome. That's the problem. If he was, if he had a face like a slapped arse, you'd be like, get rid of him.
There's a handsome.
We don't want him sticking the people out.
There is a handsome theory about how people are perceived. If you are physically attractive, you get away with a bit, right? So there's that. But also,
Exhibit 762.
Looks will buy you 30 seconds, and then you have to start talking, and he does that very well. But then you watch his team play.
He does that very well if you're into bullshit.
God.
Right?
Oh, but that's... Well, I was thinking, listening to his post-match musings yesterday, that you would think it was bullshit.
Because it is.
But it's not. He's just explaining the situation, right? So he actually dealt with it probably as well as a manager could after the event, right? The way he explained. Bruno Fernandes went into incredible tactical detail about what happened on Sky. Unbelievable.
I missed that. What did he say?
He was on about the problem when you're pressing to City's backline, that when 3 go up, there's a massive gap in midfield and we're not pressing at the same time. And it was like a tactical breakdown of the system.
And so that's exactly what we were complaining about with Ireland, right? Is that there's a massive disconnect between the lines, which should be, at club level, relatively straightforward to... This is a group. You push forward as a group. You defend as a group. We have hours and hours and hours and hours and hours together in a way that you don't have in international football.
Yeah. I actually think the United problem is also down to individuals. I actually don't think there's a lot of good players there.
Well, okay.
I think there's a lot of very average players in the team. Very average.
Fair enough. I think everybody would tend to agree that many of the players who they have signed have been failures. However, notwithstanding that breakdown in communication is something that shouldn't be. That we're going to be world class at the things that don't take any talent.
Yeah,
it doesn't take talent to communicate and move together to get drilled in a way.
But again,
is that not the type of thing that the manager should have had an impact on by now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like that's on his hit list for sure. But a bit like Ireland, in my opinion, is that I didn't think Ireland lacked any conceivable efforts, but it's like a confidence thing, and that you don't tackle as hard. Like, there was no yellow cards yesterday for United, which is the first time that's happened. That made Roy Keane apoplectic. But I think, listen, like, if they got, say, 5 yellows yesterday, then you'd add, well, they don't have any discipline either. So you can read into that what you want. The problem is that they lack a huge amount of confidence. And I just don't think the system suits the players. When he was appointed, I don't know if you remember, but we went through the potential starting 11, and I was here with you, and I had the centre mids, and I was like, Bruno Fernandes in it too, that's not going to work. And 10 months later, it's not really working. He's United's best player and they can't use him.
Well, they could use him. They could play somebody else there
They have no room for him then, because he's not going to change the system. We know that. So it'll be a 3-4-3. So you'd have to play him out wide, which is what they did eventually when Kobbie Mainoo came in. I don't really know what his problem with Kobbie Mainoo is. He doesn't play him a bit more. So it's just the best United players, they're not getting the most out of them. And it just looks like that system does not suit the squad at all.
Mainoo might be fine. He might be like a mid-tier Premier League player. He might not be any better than that.
I think he's. But if you look at the midfield options that United have, I think he might be better than them.
Maybe. See Rasmus Højlund really struggling to come to terms with life elsewhere. He scores it. He scores straight away.
It's the release. So Højlund
Rashford making the team at Barca.
Højlund scores for Napoli and Rashford starts for Barcelona. It's the relief. Jadon Sancho sitting on the bench though for Villa.
Yeah, mate. So, I don't know what they're doing. That's some kind of charity.
Victor Lindelof came on though.
Yeah.
Kept the clean sheet.
Midfield.
Look, it's a red, but it's a red that we've seen a lot, We've seen a lot of.
Yes, it's a red for Manchester United. Yeah. What do you have to say about this?
Do you want gone? What more is there to say?
Like, it's not
what I was going to say.
But it's not like it's not surprise. There's no surprise to it. It's like they were fine. They were fine that first half. Got kind of cut open. A little bit of great bit of skill by Doku. Just opened it up.
Good header.
And after that, they were kind of
well taken.
In fairness, it was a great bit of skill, but then he got lucky.
Yeah, and that's kind of that. But like, I don't think win, lose or draw yesterday. I don't think it would tell you anything about how it's going. It's still Man City at home, and I know they've not been great. But at the same time, like, they can do that. I don't think anything's changed necessarily. Like that hadn't been there 2 weeks earlier when they bet Burnley. Like the midfield is chronic.
The passage of time is happening, right? That's what's happening. You're like if you had a belief one way or another before this, you're not going to change your mind significantly off the back of that performance, right? But he needs to start getting some results, otherwise the tide goes out. And the tide is he's swimming against the tide at the moment.
Do you know what?
My tortured analogy here.
Do you know what? There's actually a case where United have so few games this season that actually might hurt Amram and speed up his potential exit, because everyone's going to be concentrating on all these games that they have. So, like, potentially United only have 35 games left this season in all competitions.
They get knocked out of the cup.
We're mid-September. So we're 4 games into the league and you have the FA Cup third round. And sure, if they get a nasty draw, they could be gone. Or not a nasty draw if you saw in the League Cup. So they could be out of here. They have 3 more games before the next international break.
As United fans...
Can I run through these games, right?
Go on, yeah.
Home to Chelsea this Saturday evening coming. Then away to Brentford. And then a home to Sunderland.
I mean, that's like... It doesn't
actually matter what 3 teams I named out there. That's the thing.
Well, Chelsea not great form at the moment. Brentford's... sorry, is it away to Brentford?
Yeah. Away, they stalemated each other there at the weekend.
Yeah.
Chelsea and Brentford.
Good game.
Very good game. And then at home to Sunderland, who started well. But again, I think it's kind of irrelevant who they're playing, really. So there's 3 more games and then you had the international break. And then after the international break, the first game, Anfield.
So how far... do you think, first off, it's likely or unlikely? Will they give him the full season now and decide that this is what it is, this is the story? Because you suspect that he might be gone before that?
No, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's anyone you get. Like, I don't know what the move is. Do you know what I mean? It's not immediately clear to me what you do if you get rid of him, because it is kind of you've locked yourself into a position now. It's like, so what are you saying by getting rid of him?
Areola?
Yeah, but he's not going to leave Bournemouth at this point of the season. He's not going to make the same mistake Amorim just made. And you're going to go, like, you can't go from one ideologue to another. So what are you looking for? Like, who are you going to go out there and get?
They kind of have to stay with him in one way, right? So. Because they have a lot of windows coming up, and he's going to keep on signing players if he has the budget to align to his system. So he's going to get rid of players that don't suit it. So this team is going to the squad's going to turn into a 3-4-3, whether anyone likes it or not, if they keep him. So the longer you keep him, then the more in trouble you are, because then if you reject him and sack him, I don't know how many managers are as disciplined as he is to sticking with a system.
Well, I think if you have a 3-4-3, they have enough centre-backs on the books when they get fit to be able to play this style and have a bit of depth. De Ligt wasn't great yesterday.
No, but he's been grand. He's been fine. He's been 5.5 out of 10 probably since he's left the club,
But I think if you build that squad, what that means is that you get 3 or 4 midfielders who are better than the 3 or 4 midfielders you have now, and nobody thinks that's a bad idea.
Yeah, so then you could actually need 4 windows to do that. So then you're into season 4 and 5 there under Amorim. The other thing then is, if you name a starting 11 now, his strongest 11, and United are one of those clubs who can actually have his strongest 11 because they're only playing once a week. If you name it and you go personnel-wise, there's about 3 or 4 players out of position.
At the moment.
That's the problem he has. Like,
There is a strange bit of I'm loath to put anything in terms of luck or anything like that, but it was unfortunate that both Mount and Cunha were also not available yesterday. Where that's been his starting thing throughout. And to be fair to Mount, he's looked great, but like you can't rely on the man.
Yeah, I think
but
he's
like
good.
It's just that there's a degree of, I don't know. I just think dig in.
yeah,
The alternative
I would
just
too. Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense why we're both saying that.
Yeah, just
But I would I'd stick with him.
Just hold on.
Stick with him.
There's no point. The alternative is pointless.
Yeah.
What you win a few games, you finish 6th.
Do you know what I'd like to see? I'd just like to see it go well under Amram.
Yeah.
I would just like to see what that looks like. A bit like the opposite with Slot, what I was saying last season was like, wait till it goes badly and it hasn't happened yet. I'd like to see it with Amram if it goes well, just to see what he's like then. Because all he's been doing since he's been at the club for nearly a year now is explaining his rationale and his justification for the system. That's all he's been doing.
Okay. It hasn't been. The stuff doesn't really stack up as much as it did at the start. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, it's the reddest of red. Now, Ireland rugby, will we get on to that? Time is of the essence and all that.
Yeah.
So 15-0 up at half time, lose 18-15 to France in the Rugby World Cup quarter final. The biting, of course, is going to be the big talking point from here.
Well, there's many talking points, right?
Well, I think that's the biggest, though, isn't it, for what people want to talk about? I'd like to concentrate on the
Positives.
30-odd phase play of the last period of the first half when Ireland were 15-0 up. We gotten over the line there. That was at least 20-0 heading into half time. And France's winning try was, the 68th minute, which was the first time they led in the game. Heartbreaking stuff. And you kind of felt it coming when France got going. I think France going to win this game. That was the crudest part of the defeat. While Ireland were still winning in the second half, I felt that France were going to end up winning the game.
Well, yeah, and like they're the powerhouse who always beat us really, and who tend to be able to deal with us no matter what we're doing. But the performance in the first half was excellent, up to them needing a little bit of variation when it came to pummeling away in the try line, and just a cool head. And in the end, ironically, wasn't it Aoife O'Rourke who lost possession? She'd lost her scrum cap at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I see actually Ireland went over the line in the 3rd minute and the try was disallowed. Wafer dropped. There was a rustiness there. Obviously, she made a big difference in the game too, positively.
Oh no, totally. You do wonder if maybe she'd been fully fit. If we'd had her anyway, it's like the injuries from Man United. You're always going to have injuries at this stage of a tournament. It was an excellent performance in so many regards, and then there are just little bits that they are going to haunt them. And also, they did point out that there's been a biting incident here. You probably just need to down tools and say, no, you need to look at that biting incident, and we're stopping here. We're going on strike. I've been bitten. Like, you have to. There's an immaturity sometimes in rugby.
Remind people when this happened in the game.
It's like the 43rd minute.
So Ireland were winning. Ireland
were winning, and if they get
this is it, by the way.
If they get somebody sent off, like
this is Aoife O'Rourke,
and it's not. It's like multiple nibbles,
That's our own Anna Capel is talking over it.
Yeah, and so
not go
that's
absolutely ballistic
afterwards.
Would you not go absolutely ballistic? Yeah, she looked like she was in a state of disbelief of what happened, which is probably one of the two reactions you could have: disbelief or fury. She had the former, and maybe that did influence the referee's non-decision. Yeah, it could have been a different game because look, the ref wasn't shy in bidding. So France had 3 players in the bin, Ireland had 1. Grace Moore, when she came on, she went back off again. And who knows how much of a difference that could have made? Probably a lot. The weather improved as well in the second half, and so did France's performance. So, like, the shocking conditions in Exeter really aided Ireland in the first half. They started unbelievably well because they had that cancelled try, but they got a penalty from it, and from the resulting penalty they scored legitimately. But the second try by Ireland as well, like, it's beautiful rugby. From Stacey Flood finished it, and they actually out-rugbyed France in that phase of play. So they were doing both, like, they were backs against the wall job, playing to the conditions which hurt France, and they were playing a bit as well. It's a brilliant first half performance. It was just that phase of play at the end of the half, 30-odd, I think, that Ireland didn't convert. Who knows how much of a difference that would have made. But truthfully, they didn't do enough in the second half, but for the end, right at the end of the game when the ref blew the final whistle and it looked like it was a deliberate knock-on by France, and that could have been a penalty, and there was only 3 points in it. So who knows?
Yeah,
it's heartbreaking. Like, is it worse to lose well as we have done recently against France, or is it worse to lose like this? I would say it's worse to lose well. I think this is... You could look at the positives from this, but at that time you're out of the World Cup.
I know, and it is another moral victory in a quarter-final of the World Cup. Like they were
13-0 up.
Bang of the 1991 World Cup for the men off this. It's like, that's our Gordon Hamilton moment, and never actually get beyond it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. So that's why I'm suggesting Amber here, because of the performance itself was really good for at least one half. And I go back to 2.5 years ago. The 15s was a rabble. It was a joke. Six Nations.
Whoa.
And now nearly beat France in the quarter-final of a World Cup. I'd go Amber.
Can I just say,
we often get mixed up. It's the results.
The problem is the FAI,
we often say it's
like
the results rankings. We often do, which is incorrect. This is the performance rankings.
But the performance is like
the results rankings will be done in 5 minutes.
A decade of suppressing the women's team. This is a team who were capable of reaching World Cup finals and semi-finals.
I just
winning semi-finals.
Hold on now, right?
Like in the past, and the IRFU decided in their wisdom to unplug the funding tap, and all of the best people who were involved in it disappeared, went and worked in different places, and now they put a tiny bit of money back, and we're running France.
You're bigger picturing me, right? I'm just talking about the performance rankings. Last week, New Zealand 40-0 defeat. That's a raid. You can't put this into raid as well. That's my point.
All right, okay, good point.
Yeah. So we'll go Amber. Amber for Ireland. I'll tell you what's green for Ireland. Aoife O'Rourke.
Green and gold, yeah.
75 kg. The World Boxing Championships in Liverpool. Hell of a result after a very disappointing Olympics. So no doubt a green there. Do you want to linger on that, or do you want to talk about it?
An incredibly dominant performance in the final.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, unanimous decision, all three. So never in doubt. Paddy Donovan. Now, our own Matthew Brennan, star of
Green Scene.
Back tomorrow.
Was at this fight in Windsor Park, which Paddy Donovan lost. Got knocked down twice, but lost narrowly to Ger Gilroy. Eddie Hearn is of the opinion that this fight was much closer than a lot of people seem to think that Paddy Donovan is robbed.
Sorry, if you're knocked twice, like...
If you're not twice, it's 10-8 automatically, do you know?
What are you going to do?
It's a bit like the nanny red card all those years ago, and Keane goes, you give the referee the opportunity to make the decision. He made the decision.
So, what colour are we giving Paddy?
It'll be interesting to see if he can get another big fight, because he's so dangerous.
Eddie Hearn said that afterwards. We hope to give him another big fight.
Yeah, but we'll see. Eddie Hearn says a lot of stuff in the immediate aftermath, and the blood is up. And it's not if you're not one of his fighters, you're suddenly on the outside looking in.
The cruel beauty of boxing, isn't it? Because he really beat him in the first fight, but got disqualified, and this is so close.
His best hope,
and it could have gone either way.
His best hope is that Crocker gets beaten in his next big fight, and that Hearn goes, right, well, I'll put on a trilogy somewhere, ideally in Ireland, and it sells out, and then he wins that and gets back. But like, it is the pictures that he put up afterwards on his own Instagram of the devastation, the quiet devastation.
Oh, that was horrible. Yeah, the head bowed.
Amazing photographs. Whoever's taking it, whoever's managing the social media for them.
Just the click in the corner. I don't mind me. It's such a cruel, unbelievably inhumanely cruel sport that if you lose, you were a loser. And that's obviously not the case in this instance. So what are we giving him? It's tough for boxing, isn't it? Because there really should be no amber in boxing.
That can be a draw.
That's very true. Yeah, fair enough.
I guess, look, this is a future thing, right? If he gets a big fight off the back of this,
yeah,
if they allow him to go on, because he clearly has the talent, and just needs not to get caught twice the next time.
So what are we going to give him? I'll go amber. A lot of people are of the opinion that he won that fight.
Yeah, look, I mean, the difficulty and the hardship that boxers put themselves through, sticking them in red when you're sticking Man United in red, and they're like, oh, look at me, I fell over in the box. Like, no, sorry, it's not the same thing.
So, what do you think?
Whatever you want. I'm not giving you red.
Yeah, I'll go amber. So I'll put him in amber there. Lads, Kerry FC. How about this? All the way Friday night ago. You had it in the bag, Sligo. Arthur, what happened there?
No idea.
Elding hat-trick, 3-0 up, Sligo Rovers in the FAI Cup quarter-final for people who missed this. There was a tweet. Did you see this? Owen Elding puts Shamrock Rovers into the semi-final of the FAI Cup after he completes his hat-trick in the 61st minute.
Who said that? Who put the tweet? Sligo Rovers, obviously. Not Shamrock Rovers, but yeah.
Did I say Shamrock Rovers?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I apologise. Sligo Rovers. And
that.
Kerry FC quote retweeted it being like, oh, really? And the comeback started with Keane Brasden's first of two.
Yeah, that's more impressive. Did they do it then? Doing it after. Doing it after.
Well, you're not going to say when the 3-0 down, it was like, hold on now. Watch this. So Sligo Rovers were defeated eventually in the 117th minute. Unbelievable story, this, to go 3-0 down.
Yeah, it's incredible.
We actually talked about it on Friday with Barry Murphy in studio about how much of a fairy tale it would be for Kerry if they won this game. But we didn't feel like there was much hope, and it's certainly not after an hour.
It's a disaster for Sligo. It's just that kind of the same. Well, it was the same last year. Took a big beating from Drogheda at home, I think, to get knocked out. Same thing, and it's one of those where you're not troubling anywhere near the top. So you're not. There's kind of your only kind of primary focus all year is to stay up. And then you have this little. They should have, like, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing from the outset. It's crazier to have been 3 up at that point, cruising, and to let it slip away is it's fairly,
Even when the boys got a consolation 5 minutes later, you know,
it's fairly
back 3-1.
like, but it's just disaster because it's one of those things now where it's like, so now the rest of the season is like the best, you know, you're just desperately trying to stay up. They'll probably not get relegated straight down anyway because Cork, but it's tough because that was a real bit of, you know, light and shade, kind of the excitement of going into semi-final and that, but I don't know, look, it's the challenge of what they're doing there.
So the biggest green ever for Kerry FC there. And just to run through the rest, Shamrock Rovers beat Drogheda United on penalties on Friday night, so the reigning champions are out. Cork City went up to Finn Harps and won 3-0. And then yesterday, Pats beat Galway 3-1. So the semi-final draw has been made. You see this?
Yeah.
It's harsh on Kerry.
Well,
They go to play Shamrock Rovers, Cork City play Pats.
I said...
Convenient one.
It's home.
I was thinking that. It's very convenient.
You don't want Kerry in the final, like.
Hot balls. It's... You get home semi-finals.
I know.
What's that about?
I know. That's mad.
Come on.
No, it's Turner's
Where-
Cross.
where-
Turner's
yeah.
Cross for Cork City, which is good. But yeah,
They should be...
Shamrock Rovers shouldn't be allowed to be home.
But it's the semi-final of Cup.
Yeah.
Stick it at Wembley. Come on. Everybody's like, oh, it can't be.
What's the most ideal neutral venue
Well, Tala is
that's
obviously...
not
you know.
the Aviva?
Tala.
It is Tala.
Like, yeah.
All the games are in Tala always for everything, like because the facilities aren't there. But like, you know, the League of Ireland needs more money. Government, the tin is being rattled. Come on.
All right, so that's the greenest of green. 2 left here. Back to football as Alan Quindon walks over to us there. Liverpool, right? Quinny might be interested in this. Liverpool fan, of course. Where will we put them in the performance rankings? What colour will we give them? So you would think green, 4 from 4, the opposite to Wolves, for example. But performance-wise, I mean, have they played well at all this season? And it is the performance rankings.
Yeah, so you're putting them in amber at the very least. They're red, right? Liverpool, red for Liverpool.
Penalty and injury time, most Salah dispatches it.
Red for Liverpool and Manchester United the same weekend.
This is, I would say, I would be of the argument that if you win and play poorly,
It's green all day.
green all day.
You're a 3 points man.
I'm actually not really.
You're loving
no
those.
wonder it's all about the results. That's what football results business. That was not like, because it is
you're
about the
loving
journey. Ultimately, you know, like that's what you remember. You don't look up YouTube highlights of results.
You're loving
You know,
those
you look
Uber
up
Eats ads,
performances.
aren't you? You think they're amazing.
Uber Eats.
Yeah. When you've done enough. Tony Pulis.
Oh yeah,
Big Sam.
I was thinking of another one.
You did see that and go, oh, I love that, didn't you?
That one, yeah, was reminding me of my youth. You know, when they were dominating in the noughties. Those three managers.
They had main character energy.
Liverpool's green jersey is very nice.
It is
Isn't that?
nice,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice shade of green. Adidas retro logo too.
Yeah.
If only I'd really seen that properly when we were doing our rankings of away jerseys. Our third choice jerseys. Oh, no, they only released it afterwards. But look, they won again and they haven't played well, and Alexander Isak was nowhere to be seen, and they're fairly formidable on paper when they get going. Which do you think has a better squad, Liverpool or Arsenal?
Well, Liverpool are title-winning, European Cup winning.
Squad.
I know, but
Right now.
the winning squad, the squad that has done all the winning.
Don't mind that. The actual availability of players.
If you probably went position by position, you'd overwhelmingly kind of go Liverpool, wouldn't you? Like, if you were to break it down that way, I know maybe as a unit they're probably closer, but like you're taking Isak over Gyökeres, you're taking
Yes, but Arsenal's midfield is incredible.
I think they're going to be right there.
Arsenal.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do too. I
like-
think they should be, but I just don't trust them to win the league under Mikel Arteta.
it's like that, maybe not, but like I still think like that. It's the pain of having that last game 2 weeks ago, the Arsenal one. I don't think it amounts to anything. Like if they don't, and I know it's but if Liverpool don't score, all of a sudden it's down to a point again.
Yeah,
the game may as well not have happened. I know they scored, fair play to them, but like it is weird though. Like it's a weird old thing. It's more or less now 4 games in a row they've salvaged,
Yeah.
which is
I suppose they just have
the free kick, not so much. Maybe that was whatever, but that was
2 set pieces to win 2 games in a row. A free kick and a penalty. But they have so many new players. I suppose it does generally take time. You could say the same thing for Arsenal too, but Arsenal aren't so expansive under Arteta anyway. Arsenal are a very defined side.
I think that Arsenal are going to get better. I think that they've signed attacking players and midfielders whose job it is to add creativity, and that is starting to happen. You saw the impact of Eze, you saw the impact of Zubimendi. Like, they're 3 games in, 4 games in.
Yeah.
Everybody,
But you're only judging it from
when they've
what's
played
happened
20
so
games
far.
together. Well, I did say I thought Eze had the potential to be like,
you call him Eric Cantona-esque.
yeah. And I'm not backing off that just yet.
Well, yeah, of course you're not 24 games in.
No, but I'm saying that I'm seeing upside already.
I just think the Arsenal's midfield is unbelievable. So Zubimendi scores twice.
And nearly scored another one.
What a goal,
He
by
does
the way.
score.
That volley. What a goal. So Rice wasn't even in the team. They bring him on. Declan Rice. They bring him on. So the unbelievable amount of options in the middle of the pitch.
Odegaard got injured very early on.
He did, yeah.
I'm like, sometimes you're just one
Shoulder.
injury away from a brilliant team.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though, isn't it? Because you have the fact over the next 2 months you have those 2-week breaks in both months. I know there's a lot of games. I think something like City have something like
So you-
7 games in 21 days or something like.
Exactly.
So it is. I know it can have a big impact, but it's funny like that it won't be so prolonged that it's like, oh, you missed 3 months worth of games or whatever. Just breaks built into it.
Yeah.
I don't think they need him anymore.
Odegaard.
You'd rather have than not.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, but sometimes you feel like you have to pick this guy, right? And now they don't feel like they have to pick him, and they might actually have a better team.
I still think he has something different about him, do you know? So you have like Rice, Zubimendi, Marino, brilliant. Odegaard's a bit different.
He is a bit
gives you something a little bit different.
He's a bit different, but you stick him in.
Great option. Then up front, right? So then
Bruno Fernandes.
when Saka is back, fit and healthy, Gyökeres, good finish. Eze, if Martinelli finds a bit of form, Trossard's a good option off the bench. That's what I'm on about the squad. Like, and it's a squad game these days. I think
I think you're overselling
However-
me, Trossard and Martinelli there.
Oh, they're the type of lads.
Would you
type of
rather have-
lads
I'd rather
get
have Gakpo than both
Get you
of
your
them.
3 points against Burnley.
No, but I want Gakpo instead of them.
Cody Gakpo, but you have him. Yeah, so I haven't even started with Liverpool yet. Look at the options at Liverpool. Liverpool may be the first team in history that I can think of that have too many options. Like, as in, they've backup for everywhere with the exception of centre half.
Remember the United in like was it 8-9?
8-9 when they signed Berbatov.
It was like
And the
too
first
many
game,
lads.
the first game was away to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And they tried to he picked Berbatov, Tevez, Ronaldo, and Rooney.
Yeah.
It was disastrous. But for this one, for Liverpool, right? So you've the 3 midfielders from last season, even though one of them's playing out of position at the moment, right back, Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Then Florian Wirtz, you have to find somewhere for him to get the best out of him. That's another thing, right?
What if he's not that good?
He is
Salah.
that good. He is that good.
What
We
if it-
can't do
Salah-
this. We can't keep doing this.
What if it doesn't work?
He is that good.
TK. They have 2 full-backs. Both sides, they have 2 really good options for both sides. Formidable. Like. And if they get
Yeah,
that
but
Gahey,
what's interesting,
in
like,
January.
and I didn't. I'll be honest with you now. I didn't watch it all yesterday. We were going off reports. Like Salah wasn't very good, was he?
Salah was really poor against Arsenal on the ball. Salah often is very slack on the ball, but the thing is, then there's the other side of Salah who's fairly untouchable. But yeah, he was. But they're not going to drop him or not going to play him, and he's still going to win them games.
Then what is depth? If you're not going to drop him, it's not strictly competitive. Then is it? Like,
Well, that's one of the 3 positions, and they're all interchangeable.
But if he's playing poorly,
So the rest, yeah,
say he goes, and when he goes, and say they kick on and they're flying come the other
Africa
side
Cup
thing,
of Nations.
does he come back in and play straight away?
I think so, but I mean, let's cross that bridge. But right now, predicting it 6 months before the event or so, I would say yes, he would, yeah. But who knows? Even so, Salah's position is sewn up. He's going to start for now. The other two positions are between a number of lads. It's unbelievable.
You can't pay the money you paid for Isaac and not play him.
I wonder, is that true these days? You'd imagine it is.
It has
You'd
to be
imagine.
true. What
You'd
the hell's the
imagine.
point in doing it otherwise?
Right, but there's a lot of players are signed for big money, and they might start in the team, but very quickly they find themselves out of the team because it's just not working. So he might get a good start, Isaac, into the team. But there'll be a huge amount of rotation this season.
They're trying to win the European Cup.
They're going to play every 3 days.
And the league, and they've built a squad which is
Yeah,
capable
it's like
of doing that.
Man City at the Etihad. Let's see what team they put out then. Other than that, in the meantime, it'll be swapped and changed. 2 of the best squads I've seen in the Premier League right now, Liverpool and Arsenal, in terms of pure options that they have of quality. Unbelievable. I think Liverpool will retain the league, though. I still think Liverpool nick it as the best squad in the league. And they're better now than they were last season. On paper. So they're green. And then finally, Ger, take it away by Aston Villa. The only team in the top 7 leagues in England to score. Not
You never hear top 7 used.
7. They're bringing in,
Yeah, what's 6 and 7?
I think north and south.
you know,
North
and
and
you were
south.
scoffing at scoffing at Marcus Rashford and Asensio.
I wasn't scoffing. No scoffing. I was
So-
like, it would have been. It was never an option for them to sign
God,
Rashford, but he did
outlanders.
add pace to the team. They've subsequently taken all of the pace out and signed a bunch of one-pace players in Harvey Elliott and Sancho, who didn't start at the weekend.
He loves the United cast-off, doesn't he, Emery? Rashford, Lindelof, Sancho.
Lindelof's just a squad player,
He came on. Sancho didn't come on.
but Lindelof's not going to start week in, week out. So he signed him for free. That's that's just reasonable business.
Is it?
There's
Yeah.
got to be better options. But anyway, it's
I mean, free. Are there better free options? And maybe there are.
Now, they didn't lose.
Yeah.
So where did they go? This is the Jack Grealish derby.
Can't put them in the
Away to
red.
Everton.
By your logic, you're like.
So are Villa, would you say they're solid this season? They just have no cutting edge.
Yeah, well, they are relying at the moment on an out of form Ollie Watkins to add some injection of pace. They have like a collection of kids who won everything last year, who he seems very reluctant to put in the first team. So
do you think he hangs around much longer?
Yeah, I was wondering that too myself.
I'm not trying.
I think so, because they've kind of set it up for him. There is there's like a deep seated relationship that I suspect means that Emery is tethered to the 2 lads who own the club. And I think that they'll spend big in the next window. Maybe not the Christmas one, but they'll spend big next year.
You
And,
worried, sure?
No, not really. I mean, I did say that I suspect they could finish 15th and win the Europa League. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if that was...
They were my underperformers of the season beforehand. Just thought a bit flat.
Yeah, it is a bit flat. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Like, Morgan Rogers is still a good player, but he's not playing as well for
Young player.
Villa as he is for England. And they did have significant injuries in the midfield area where they ended up playing Lindelof in midfield. So, like, they'll be grand. But you would want to start scoring some goals. They got rid of Leon Bailey. They got rid of John Duran. Diaby came in for 1 season. Rashford gone. There is nobody who can run fast in the team, which you need. And they've signed a lot of players who aren't in the first team. Like,
Why do you...
Pau Torres has gone for the first team. Matson's not in the team. Like, that's a lot of money. That's their big investments who are still at the club. They haven't been able to kick on.
Leaving a series of forwards go for various reasons. This is PSR stuff, is it? Or this is not a strategy, deliberately?
Oh, no, they would have signed Rashford if they could have afforded it. And he wanted to come, which he didn't. So,
He got his dream move, finally.
yeah. Well,
Barcelona.
it's hard to compete against Barcelona, in fairness.
Where are you putting him? I'll allow you lead this one.
Well, if they'd been beaten, it would have been red. But their defence is...
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, exactly.
They're not Wolves. They're 2 points clear of Wolves.
They're 19th, yeah. All right, we'll go amber for Aston Villa.
There you go.
And is that how you'd like to end this performance rankings?
Yeah, I'm happy with
Any comments there to add to the festivities?
No.
On YouTube?
No.
None?
No,
Nothing worth it?
no. I didn't see it.
I haven't looked at them either. Cesspit, is it?
Nah, they're all talking amongst themselves.
Oh, fair play to them. All right, we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
All right, that was your
Off
performance
the
rankings.
balls, performance rankings.